Chapter 15, Testing a Theory. After that special lunch, Victor became an official member of the TJ League. He didn't have any favorite superheroes, but that was okay. Sammy made sure that he had plenty of reading material to make his decision. In the meantime, we've been having loads of fun just playing and hanging out. It seems that Victor was paying attention when we were trying to become his friends. So much so that he took each of us up on our offers. You know, the things we invited him to do. First, he started with Sammy. Not only did she introduce Victor to the amazing world of comic books through her personal collection at home, she also introduced him to recess soccer. Sammy chose two fourth graders as team captain, then loudly mentioned how good Victor was at soccer. You know, the way people do while looking at the sky on their tippy toes with their hands behind their backs? Yeah, like that. Because of that little trick, Victor wasn't picked last. He also was the star of the soccer field that recess. You see, soccer works just like basketball. As soon as a team scores, the game resets. The winning team gets to continue playing, while the losing team has to get back in line and wait their turn to play again. Victor kept scoring on the other team, so his team never lost. Second, Victor asked Marcus for some help with his math homework. Of course, Marcus obliged. And because Marcus and I switched houses after school for homework, Victor got to meet our families. While at his house, Marcus showed Victor some great tricks for learning his times tables. You know how anything times 0 is 0, and how you just have to add a 0 to that number being times by 10. Or how when you multiply by 9, the tens place goes up by 1, and the 1 place goes down by 1. Things like that. Then Paul organized another video game and pizza day at his house. It took some convincing, but after promising that there would be no acrobatics, his mom finally agreed to let us come over. We decided to start off with an easy game, the same one that Paul had tried to get him to play that day at the big tree. After getting the timing down, Victor ended up being the best of all of us at getting that frog across the screen. And when we decided to play some more difficult games, he was a natural at those too. I think Victor has found his calling. Next, we went to the park so Justin could give Victor some pointers on how to shoot a basketball. We all decided that playing around the world was better than trying to have a full-on game. It's all on the wrist, Justin kept telling him. And after not too long, Victor found out that he was pretty a decent shot. He ended up beating Paul and me. I mean, yes, Paul is still on crutches, and yes, I'm terrible at sports with the ball, but still, you have to admit, he still did pretty good for his first time. After that, Victor's mom organized a bowling trip so we could all go bowling. Unlimited pizza and wings and all. For the first game, we all started with the bumpers, to make it fair. But for the second game, we tried it without the bumpers. Then we found something out. We're all pretty terrible at bowling. As for whether or not Justin upset Sammy as the wing-eating champion, once again, he was defeated. Actually, Sammy didn't win either. Victor, who pointed out that we didn't have to eat them all at once, took his time during our time at the bowling alley and beat Sammy out by just one wing. Finally, Victor asked Eric if he still wanted to partner for the annual dance-off. Eric jumped so high that he almost fell down when he landed. With just a week to go, Victor spent every lunch recess and every afternoon at Eric's house so they could be as ready as they could. When the day finally came, the whole TJ League showed up to offer our support. After all the dance routines had shown their talent, the judges needed time to tally up the points. So Principal Martinez took the mic and tried some stand-up comedy. Tried being the key word. I think he should stick with being principal. He's good at that. Even though they didn't win, when their names were called out for the second place, Eric and Victor shared an enthusiastic handshake that took like 10 seconds to complete. Guess dancing wasn't the only thing they were practicing over the past week. Eric's and Victor's mom offered to take us out for ice cream after the dance-off. And after some begging on our parts, our parents agreed to let us go. So, guess we're 7 for 7, I said, taking a lick of my ice cream and looking at Sammy. What? Victor asked. Oh, nothing, Sammy said, smiling while kicking me under the table with a be quiet look on her face. What made you do it? Marcus asked Victor. Do what? He asked. You think I didn't notice? Marcus shot back. Notice what? Victor said, genuinely confused. Yeah, notice what? Justin asked. You took us all up on our original offers, Marcus said. What do you mean? Paul asked. It's like this, Marcus said, leaning in as we spoke. We all approached Victor with an idea to become his friend. Uh-huh, Eric said, while we all leaned in with Marcus. First, TJ asked him to join the TJ League, Marcus said, using his fingers to keep count. Secondly, Sammy offered to make him a captain for the soccer at recess. Then I offered to help him with math. After that, Paul invited him for video games and pizza. Justin wanted to teach him to be the best way to shoot a basketball. I tried again by inviting him to go cosmic bowling. And with you, Eric, being the last person who approached him, Victor has now done everything we originally asked him to do. Oh, we all said in unison. So, I repeat, Marcus said, what made you do it? I wanted to see what Principal Martinez was talking about, Victor answered. I'm confused again, Justin said, raising his hand like we were in school. At that lunch we had in Mrs. Garrison's office, Principal Martinez said that you guys were some of the best examples the school has of what a true friend should be, Victor said. Uh-huh, Sammy said slowly with her eyes slightly closed. And I just wanted to see if what he said was true, he admitted. Test his theory out for myself. So, I said. So what? Paul said. So what do you say? I clarified. Do we pass your test? Victor said, sitting quietly for a moment while scratching his chin and staring at the ceiling. Oh, come on. Really? Dude, just say something already. Then he took another lick of ice cream and smiled the biggest smile I've ever seen him use.